Hi guys. Hi Hillbilly Cat. How is everyone? So I've got my stupid vest on because it's too hot to wear anything. So the name's Louis. I run a channel called Defending Elvis Presley. I've got other channels as well. I also run Elvis Presley Fan on Keto, which is health related. Elvis Presley Fan on Keto is for our health, what we eat, how to live longer. Elvis Presley Fan on Keto is Elvis fans that have health problems, that they're on medication, they're not well, they have no energy, they're down, they have anxiety, depression. So this channel, Elvis Presley Fan on Keto, just gives you a way of changing your health, changing how you eat, changing your future. So then our other channel, Elvis Presley Long Lost Footage. So our other channel, Elvis Presley Long Lost Footage, we tend to post vintage footage. There's no defending on Elvis Presley Long Lost Footage. It's purely really for all the interesting video clips from the 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s and 90s as well. Elvis Presley Fan on Keto, we tend to do the light-hearted stuff as well as talk about our health. So we'll have all the fun stuff on Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. So my discussion today, hi Lorna, is we're gonna still carry on talking about fake news, fake Elvis news. Now, and fake Elvis channels as well, fake Elvis YouTube channels. But the topics this morning was the TCB logo, yeah? Trying to understand the truth behind the TCB logo, how it was thought up, you know, the design. Now, we are told, incorrectly, that Priscilla Presley thought up the idea. If you go back onto YouTube, it will clearly show Priscilla Presley taking full credit for designing it. She, in the 80s, 90s, says she was with Elvis on an aeroplane. He wanted to make something to give to his friends, his family. She initially, early on, says, we had a writing pad and we were doing different sketches, and then there was a lightning bolt, and that gave her the idea for the lightning bolt. Well, if you look at the same story from Priscilla 10 years later, she doesn't mention Elvis, that he was part of the process of designing the TCB logo. She just says, I was on an aeroplane and Elvis wanted to make a piece of jewelry for his friends and family. And then she says, so I came up with the letters TCB, and then, there was a lightning bolt strike go past the window of the aeroplane, which gave me the idea of the lightning bolt. So I wrote down the TCB words and the lightning bolt, and I passed it over to Elvis, and Elvis said, I like that, let's get it made. Let's make jewelry out of it. And then he goes off to tell Jerry Schilling in the middle of the night to do it. Two very different stories. First story says that together they had a writing pad, and together they come up with the idea, and then together they noticed the lightning bolt strike outside the aeroplane, and together they created this logo. But 10 years later, when she's making a very cute documentary, she's trying to be almost like Elvis's savior, Elvis's spokeswoman. She's changed her story. She's rubbed out Elvis, and she basically is saying, I thought of it, and then I gave the idea to Elvis, including the letters TCB, including the logo. This is just a very simple example of how Priscilla has twisted the truth, how she thinks the public are quite gullible and just fall for it. Just literally whatever she says goes. So Priscilla can write a book called Elvis and Me. She knew when she wrote that book, she can literally say whatever she wanted and that the public were just going to fall for it. The public were very gullible. The public for 40 years have always believed everything Priscilla has said. Elvis the bad guy, Priscilla the victim. It's always been that way. And the public still believe it now. So this leads me on to something. So Pamela has messaged me just now, actually, just as I was leaving. Pamela, you can make yourself known if you want. Pamela messaged me, and I actually completely understand Pamela's message. I completely get it. Pamela messaged me. Pamela, if you want to join in, just send a comment. If you don't, it's fine. You don't have to. Now, Pamela, I think I've seen Pamela commenting before. Don't forget, we do run. Hi, Pamela. How are you? Now, Pamela, I'm going to be very respectful, okay? Team Elvis, please be respectful to Pamela. Yeah, please be respectful, yeah? Now, Pamela sent me a very fair message. Nothing wrong with Pamela's message. I actually agree with Pamela. But there's one fundamental mistake that Pamela has made, and that is we are called Defending Elvis. Our channel is Defending Elvis. Fans want the truth. So let me just please tell you, let me just please say, how can I say it? I agree with Pamela's comment. Her comment is very simple. Why is there so much negativity being spread? The Elvis community doesn't want it, and we should be showing the world the good. All the good that Elvis did with his life. The way that Elvis impacted the world in a positive way. I agree that the more the world is shown how amazing Elvis was, all the positive things that Elvis did. Good, brilliant, I love it, love it. There are thousands and thousands, of YouTube channels, Facebook pages, Instagram, social media, TikTok, X, you name it, that you can watch beautiful videos of Elvis, of the movies, the songs, lovely interviews, thousands and thousands of people talking about the history of Elvis, amazing historians that are experts. Even today I was watching a two-hour documentary of Elvis's rise to fame from the early years, right from 1954. It was brilliant. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. If you want to find lovely, positive stories about Elvis that show the world how amazing Elvis was, you can find it all day long. Now we have to understand, this is where Pamela, this is where you and me are gonna disagree. Let me just get past these people. I'm walking down the road with a phone stick, so I look a bit silly. So I'm just having a walk, guys. Now, Pamela, our Facebook page, let me just discuss that quickly. We run a Facebook page, Defending Elvis Presley. The Facebook page has a 24-hour chat. The 24-hour chat is there so that you guys, Team Elvis, Elvis fans, Lisa Marie fans, Riley fans, yeah, can get together and have a chat. And just have a chat, yeah? Get to know each other, share information, share videos, share pictures, share documents, interviews, biographies, documentaries, yeah? Our Facebook page is amazing. It's got nearly 9,000 members, and we've done that. Woo! We've had nearly 9,000 members in a year, in less than a year. So we're pretty proud of it. I will just say this, guys. We get a lot of spam. We do get a lot of spam on our Facebook page. It's bloody annoying. I spend all day, well not all day, but I spend part of my day deleting all the spam on our Facebook page because there's just so much, yeah? Now I've only got so much time in the day because I've got 5 kids with my wife. My wife works, so I can only spare a certain amount of time in my day. I also run my 4 YouTube channels. So let's get to the nitty gritty, yeah? My hair's this wind is messing my hair up. Now the bit that Pamela has to try and understand is that we are not one of those channels defending Elvis Presley. Woo! Defending Elvis Presley are not one of the channels that just plays. It's a problem for me. It's bloody embarrassing, Pamela. Defending Elvis Presley are not a channel that just plays the music, the movies. We do all the positive stuff. If you look at Defending Elvis Presley, if you go right back, I've got 4,500 videos. A lot of them very positive. I don't know how well you know my channel, Pamela, but my channel has probably got about 1,000 videos defending Elvis, defending Lisa Marie, and about nearly 4,000 just nice, cute Elvis videos. You know, videos like movies, songs, interviews, yeah? Right, now let's get on to the defending. I'll quickly let you know how I became defending Elvis, yeah? I used to run just a normal Elvis channel. I've been an Elvis fan since I was 4 years old. I'm 57 years old. And I've been an Elvis fan since I was 4. I've had a quiff since I was 4 years old. I used to go to school with a quiff when I was 5. So I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. I'm also a lifelong Lisa Marie fan. Now, I never really paid that much attention to Priscilla. To me, Priscilla was the girl that Elvis met in Germany. That was Elvis's wife. And the reason they split up was because Elvis was unfaithful and took medication, yeah? So I went along with the fairy tale. I read Elvis and Me, the book, when I was a kid. When I was I think I was about 11, 12 when I read Elvis and Me. Maybe a bit older, maybe 13. I even read Priscilla, Elvis and Me when I was about 18. I've never really had negative thoughts about Priscilla. I just used to think, oh, poor Elvis. He got unwell, he took too many drugs, put on weight, was unfaithful, and Priscilla was the poor girlfriend that lost her husband because Elvis had too much fun. Yeah, that's how I used to think. I never really used to give Priscilla a second thought. I thought she was beautiful, of course, I think we all do. So I was caught up in the trap. I was caught up in the fairy tale of the book Elvis and Me. Now what I didn't realise was that when I started running my Defending Elvis channel, well, just before I started running my Defending Elvis channel, my Defending Elvis channel had like 25,000 subscribers, and I was like getting hundreds of messages every week telling me about the wrongdoing of Priscilla Presley, but not just Priscilla Presley, members of the Memphis Mafia, Colonel Tom Parker, Dr. Nick, different people that had written books, you know, like the book Elvis, What Happened, many other books, many interviews that were very unfair to Elvis, that were very cruel to Elvis. So I was getting hundreds of messages a week telling me to talk about all the wrongdoing, because all of my videos were very cute, they were very pretty, they were very, like you say, not negative. They were celebrating Elvis's life. My videos, the majority of them, and my shorts, go and have a look, was celebrating Elvis's life. But then I was getting all these comments from Elvis fans around the world in every country that kept repeatedly saying, did you know Priscilla did this? Did you know this Memphis Mafia did that? Did you know that Colonel Tom Parker did this? Now, at first, I wanted to ignore the comments. I didn't want to argue with these people. I thought there was too much hate and that they were picking on Priscilla. But bit by bit, I started reading the comments and I started thinking, I need to do some research. So I started doing my research. I started understanding what really went on. Things like Priscilla's unfaithfulness. During the marriage, that Priscilla was unfaithful just after she got married, when Lisa Marie was a baby. Then I started understanding that Mike Stone, the karate instructor, the relationship that Priscilla secretly had with him. Then I started looking at the divorce settlements. Then I started looking into things like the age that Priscilla was when she moved to Graceland. She was nearly 18, not 14 or 15. She says she was 15. I start to understand that Priscilla has played a long game. Yeah, say hello to Pamela, guys. Now I start to understand that there is an undercurrent of, how can I say it? Obviously, we got the glossy side of Elvis that we all love. We all love Elvis, his music, his movies, everything good and positive about Elvis we love. But I started understanding that Elvis's image and reputation has been attacked for over 40 years. And by friends, by family, by Priscilla. Now, Priscilla has been very clever how she's done it. She wrote the book Elvis and Me from her point of view. No one's ever disagreed with Priscilla's book, anything. The only thing that Priscilla has ever admitted is the Mike Stone relationship, the karate champion. Now, the first thing you're going to say is, yeah, but Elvis was unfaithful. Yeah? Well, if you break it down year by year, I'll just give you a quick example. When Priscilla first moved to Graceland, yeah, Elvis was a single man. She didn't move over as his girlfriend. Now, I agree, in December 1966, they got engaged. But the evidence that I've researched shows that once Elvis got engaged, he was faithful. Now, they get married. We've already proved that she's lied about being a virgin on the night of her wedding, because Lisa Marie has said that they were sleeping together from age 18. So that made me think, oh, there's been lies here that are being told to us for the last 40 years. Now remember, this seriously affects Elvis's reputation, his image. So eventually, after hundreds of messages, I started thinking, who's defending Elvis? So anyone can say whatever they want about Elvis that's negative, and no one is defending him. You can look at any news article and read any magazine, tabloid, and nobody defends Elvis. Nobody. The Elvis fans do. Elvis fans defend him. The Elvis fans have been defending Elvis for the last 50 years. The Elvis fans have been defending Elvis since he started. Yeah? But other than the Elvis fans, who is defending him? Nobody. There were hardly any YouTube channels defending Elvis. There was Presley Mania, Rhonda, she was defending. There was a couple of other small channels that were doing a bit of defending, but there was nobody that was actually properly defending Elvis. When I was watching all these interviews that Priscilla has given over the last 40 years, she's lying in these interviews. She's tricking the interviewer into saying negative things about Elvis that are not true. Now, we know Elvis was a Christian man. If I say to you, what did Elvis do wrong? Seriously, right now I say to you, what did Elvis do wrong? You're only going to think of one or two things. You may say he was unfaithful. You may say he had a problem with prescribed medication, but remember, he was very sick. He was very, very sick, yeah? So what I'm trying to say to you, this is for Pamela, is that to defend Elvis, we can't be positive because we have to bring up all of the wrongdoing that has been happening to Elvis since 1954. This is our problem, because Pamela is saying, look, let's spread the positive stuff about Elvis. Let's celebrate Elvis's life. Let's keep things positive. How do we do that? How do we defend Elvis? So, Pamela, you can't expect me, who runs Defending Elvis with Team Elvis, there's a whole team of us, yeah? We defend Elvis every day, 7 days a week, 3-4 times a day, we defend Elvis. You can't expect me to brush it all under the carpet. Now, we know that Lisa Marie Presley was sexually abused, I have to say allegedly, by Priscilla's boyfriend, Michael Edwards. He admitted it in his book. Lisa said it herself in interviews. And in Michael Edwards' book, The Abuser, the alleged abuser, he says that Priscilla knew about it. So what do we do? Lisa Marie Presley, from her own words, on tape, tells the world that she was abused, we have to say alleged, by Michael Edwards, Priscilla's boyfriends. She puts it in her book. Riley Q, her daughter, keeps it in the book because Riley Q finishes the book. So what do? Do we just sweep it under the carpet and just ignore it and say nothing? Priscilla Presley is responsible for the safety of her daughter. She left Elvis. Priscilla Presley, I don't know if you know this, Pamela. Priscilla Presley, it was her decision to leave Elvis. She picked up Lisa Marie, took her away from her father Elvis to live with a complete stranger, Mike Stone, the karate champion. Priscilla, Lisa Marie, like that, seriously like that, was living in a stranger's apartment, the karate champion, Mike Stone, because Priscilla had made her mind up that she was having a divorce after secretly sleeping with Mike Stone, the karate guy, for 1 year. Eventually Elvis finds out, and then Priscilla demands a divorce. Now remember that Mike Stone, the karate champion, has admitted in 3 interviews that Priscilla told him that she wanted a divorce from Elvis. Now, the first thing you're going to say is, oh, but Elvis was unfaithful. Elvis was unfaithful. Well, actually, through the marriage, he wasn't. He was completely loyal and faithful. 3 months after Lisa Marie was born, Priscilla has sex with her dance instructor, Stephen Peck, which she has admitted on page 262 of her book, Elvis and Me. So you imagine Elvis, 3 months after Lisa Marie was born, when she was just a baby in nappies, finds out that his wife, who he has been faithful to for the last year, is sleeping with a dance instructor. This is why Elvis stopped sleeping with Priscilla. Not because he wouldn't sleep with a woman that has had a child. In fact, the next woman that Elvis started sleeping with had a child, Susan Henning, look it up. She was on the 68 Comeback Special, or she was in the film Live a Little, Love a Little. So when you start understanding what really went on between Priscilla and Elvis, year by year, month by month, there's a reason Elvis stopped sleeping with Priscilla after Lisa Marie, his baby, was born. It wasn't because he's a bad guy, he's a nasty guy, yeah? Now, there's more to it. We have proved that Elvis was forced to marry Priscilla. He didn't want to marry her. He was forced. There were many factors, including his own moral compass. As a Christian man, he wanted to do the right thing, but he was under a lot of pressure from the parents of Priscilla and Colonel Tom Parker, even Vernon. There were many reasons why Elvis married Priscilla. He wasn't ready to get married. He didn't want to get married. He just tried to do the right thing because he's such a nice guy. And remember, this was a very public marriage. This was the whole world watching Elvis get married and have a baby. Now remember, we've already proved that she was not a virgin on the night of the wedding. Lisa Marie put it in her book, From Here to the Great Unknown. So Priscilla has been lying to us for 40 years. She's painted a fake fairy tale for 40 years, telling us that it was a perfect relationship that only went wrong because Elvis was unfaithful and took medication. She doesn't even say that he took medication. She says Elvis was a drug addict. No mention of the fact he was seriously sick. We've proved that he was very sick. Elvis had many, many very serious medical conditions, as right from a child. Elvis kept it a secret. He didn't want the world to know how sick he was. All of the medication Elvis took through the 60s and 70s was because he was very sick. Now, did Elvis abuse the medication? Yes, he did. I'm the first to admit it, that Elvis was trying to self-medicate. But why was he doing it? He was in serious pain, serious discomfort. He just needed to get through the day. He wanted to sleep. Elvis had the worst insomnia you could ever imagine. He was in very bad pain. His colon was seriously damaged. He had the worst constipation you can ever imagine. In case you've just joined us, guys, I'm trying to explain to Pamela why we defend Elvis, why we defend Lisa Marie and Riley and Finley and Harper. We even defend Gladys, Vernon and Benjamin, because so many lies are said about the whole family. So I'm trying to paint a picture for Pamela to try and understand that to expose the truth, to defend Elvis's honor, his image, his reputation, we have to bring up all of the negative stuff that has been happening that Elvis can't defend. Elvis cannot defend the stuff that is being said about him that is ruining his image and reputation, and in the long run, his legacy. Now, this is the dilemma we're faced with. This is for you, Pamela. Are you still there, Pamela? The dilemma we're faced with is this. Elvis's reputation has been, when it comes to his personal life, not music, not movies, Elvis's reputation as, hi Pamela, Elvis's reputation when it comes to his personal life has been completely ruined. Now, when it comes to his singing ability, his gift, how beautiful he was, the movies, his personality, his charm, the gospel side of him, the Christian man. So do you understand what I'm saying? That we have to bring up the negative stuff to defend Elvis. And it's not just about Priscilla. It isn't just about Priscilla. There's many books and many documentaries and biographies that are very unfair to Elvis. We're all very worried about Priscilla bringing out her new book because we feel that Priscilla in the early 80s, the late 70s, realized that the public are going to believe everything she says. Now remember, Priscilla has never admitted anything wrong except for she briefly admitted Mike Stone in the early 80s on Barbara Walters' show, yeah, the karate guy, and she briefly mentions Mark on page 262 of the book Elvis and Me. Priscilla has never apologized for her wrongdoing. Never. If you go back through all the interviews of Priscilla for the last 40 years, you won't find an apology, and you won't see her admit any, except for Mike Stone, you won't see her admit that she was unfaithful at least, I would say, 3 times, yeah? There's many things that Priscilla has insinuated, like rape, that Elvis was a paedophile. Because the friendship that Priscilla had with Elvis when she met him at age 14 was just a friendship. Elvis had 3 to 4 other girlfriends in 1959 when he met Priscilla. When Elvis first moved back to Graceland in 1960, he hardly spoke to Priscilla for 18 months. But we're given the impression that Priscilla was with Elvis from age 14, which is not true, it's a lie. She didn't move to Graceland until she was nearly 18, but we're told she was 15. You see, Do you see? So look, I can't on this live stream list all of the wrongdoing that is secretly happening behind Elvis's back, that Elvis just cannot defend himself. Elvis can't jump out of his grave and go, that never happened. He can't defend himself. Almost nobody, except for the Elvis fans, are defending Elvis. Almost nobody. Even the book, even Sofia Coppola's film, Elvis and Me, was full of lies. I don't know, Pamela, have you watched the film Priscilla, Elvis, that is based on the book Elvis and Me? Have you watched it? It's on BBC Two at the moment. The whole film is negative towards Elvis, portrays Elvis in a very bad light. It makes him look like a junkie, a tired out junkie that just that only cared about himself. Pamela, have you watched the film? Can I just ask you that? That film is a travesty. Yes, I have watched it. Yes, so you've watched it. I've watched it. I don't like it. I think it's really boring. I think it's full of lies. But Pamela, doesn't it bother you that that film, Elvis and Me, based on the book Elvis and Me, doesn't it bother you that the way that Elvis is portrayed in that film? And the other thing I want to ask you, have you, Pamela, can I ask you another question if you don't mind? I'm just chatting. We're just having a chat, yeah? Have you read the book From Here to the Great Unknown? Lisa's book, Riley's book. Have you read that book? You have, yeah? Well, surely you must have views about the fact that Michael Edwards... Okay, so surely you must have strong views about the fact that Michael Edwards was allegedly sexually abusing Lisa for 4 years whilst he was Priscilla's boyfriend. Does that not bother you? Do you not feel that Lisa needs to be defended, that Michael Edwards needs to be exposed? Really, Michael Edwards should be arrested because he's admitted it in his own book. Michael Edwards admitted it in his book. Have you read Michael Edwards' book, Priscilla, Elvis and Me? You'll be shocked. You may have read it, but that book is shocking. Michael Edwards actually says that he was sexually turned on by Lisa Marie as a child. As a child. He admits it. He says he was in love with Lisa Marie. Surely Priscilla was the response. Right, well, I recommend you read it, Pamela. I can send you the pages, Pamela. I can send you the pages where Michael Edwards admits that he was aroused by Lisa Marie when she was a child. Yeah? It's also in there that Lisa told Priscilla. Lisa Marie told Priscilla about the fact that Michael Edwards was sexually abusing her. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly, otherwise I'll get in trouble with YouTube. There's many things in that book that would disgust you. Michael Edwards admitting that he was in love with a child, he had sexual feelings towards a child, yeah? And that Priscilla wouldn't believe him. So the reason Riley Keough kept it in the book, the reason that Lisa Marie put it in her tapes is because she wanted us to know about the abuse of Michael Edwards. She wanted the world to know. Otherwise, she wouldn't have put it on the tapes. The reason Riley Keough, Lisa's daughter, kept it in the book and did a book tour is because they want the world to know. Riley Keough wants the world to know that Michael Edwards abused Lisa Marie when she was a child. Allegedly, yeah? Otherwise, she wouldn't have put it in there. You get... So this is my point, Pamela, this is my point, yeah? I have to bring these things up because Lisa Marie can't defend herself. Lisa Marie can't go, why is no one listening? Because the book has been forgotten, the book has been swept under the carpet. So Lisa Marie, if I was Lisa Marie now, I'd be screaming from the rooftops. I'd be saying, I put it in the book, on my tapes, my daughter finished it, and no one's listening. Nothing's been done about it. Michael Edwards has not been arrested. Priscilla is acting as if nothing has changed. She's lost her daughter, which is just horrific. I can't think of anything worse than losing your daughter, yeah? But Priscilla is acting in life as if nothing has changed. Doesn't that seem odd to you? I know it probably sounds, coming from me, it probably sounds like this is very cold, like, oh, you know, she lost her daughter, poor Priscilla. Could you imagine what she's going through? You may even want to say it's none of your business. Pamela, you could do that, couldn't you? You could say, Louis, it's none of your business. How Priscilla grieves is none of your business. The fact that Lisa Marie was molested is none of your business. The lies that have been told, yeah, there we are. But remember, we're Elvis fans. Every one of us could be told it's none of our business, couldn't it? I could say it to you, Pamela, couldn't I? I could say to you, well, it's none of your business. Your interest in Elvis is none of your business, couldn't I? I could say your interest in Priscilla is none of your business. Yeah, Pamela, that's a good comment. You said, but this is my point. I think I'm getting to the point, yeah? If I don't bring up these things and defend Elvis, defend Lisa, defend Riley, Pamela, can I ask you another question? Do you know about the second divorce settlement? Do you know that Priscilla had a second divorce settlement that she promised that she was not going to do? Around 1973, she started a second divorce settlement, which eventually led to her placing a debt on Gracelands. In 1977, just before Elvis died, they were still, the debt had just been placed on Graceland so that Priscilla was guaranteed her money in installments. Did you know that? They created a deed of trust. They placed a debt on Gracelands in Priscilla's name. Priscilla was owed an absolute fortune, like Priscilla was demanding a massive amount of money, almost forcing Elvis to bankruptcy. So Elvis was forced to agree to this deed of trust, this lien, this debt, and these massive spousal payments. She was also, this is the second divorce settlement, she was also demanding a percentage of his royalties. Elvis nearly went bankrupt just before he died because of Priscilla. Priscilla paints this picture that her and Elvis were so happy and were better apart and got on well after the divorce. They were closer after the divorce. It's not true. They were arguing a lot about money and about Lisa Marie. Priscilla was trying to take Gracelands. So you have to know the whole story. There's some serious wrongdoing from Priscilla concerning Vernon Presley. After Elvis died, Priscilla was going for the jugular. She was going for the jugular. She went after Vernon. Yeah, there's a complicated story with Vernon, why he eventually agreed to make her executor on his will on behalf of Lisa Marie, because Elvis didn't want Priscilla in his will. Elvis made sure that Priscilla was not in his will because she had been given so much money before he died. So there's some serious wrongdoing here from Priscilla, but Priscilla has spent the last 40 years playing the victim. You know, just ridiculous things like Elvis forced her how to do her hair, how to do her makeup, how to dress. None of it's true. I have got actual proof, evidence that Priscilla loved her hair in the beehive style. Priscilla loved dark makeup. Priscilla loved the way she dressed, and Elvis never, ever told her how to dress. I've got proof of it. I have proof of the second divorce settlement. There's many things that we say that are proven. A lot of the things that we say, Priscilla has said it herself but has forgotten. Priscilla has a very bad memory. And I'm not able to read your comments because I'm trying to concentrate on helping Pamela see the light, see the truth. Yeah. So to your first, Pamela, I got you on fire. Pamela, I'm like this every day. You need to watch my live streams. This is the norm for me. Now, let me just bring you up to date on what we did today. Today, remember, I do not hate Priscilla. I say it loud and proud. I do not hate Priscilla. She has made hundreds of mistakes. All right, you've watched me before. Now today, I've sort of come to the end of what I was trying to say, but now today we did the TCB logo. Someone brought it up yesterday, just in a passing comment, who designed the TCB logo. Now I tell you now, even I was shocked what I found. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were just gonna have a bit of fun with the TCB logo, because we do have fun on this channel, don't we guys? We do have fun on this channel. Now you've got one video where Priscilla says, oh yeah, me and Elvis were on a plane together and we had a sketchbook and we were trying to let's have a look. TCB logo, we'll make a true post about it. Yeah, I did 2 live streams today, okay? And I used actual evidence and documents and pictures of the actual drawings that were done to create the TCB logo. Yeah, I looked up Billy Smith, Marty Lacker, and I even spoke to Billy Stanley. Do you know who Billy Stanley is, Pamela? I don't know if you know, but we talk to Elvis's, sometimes we talk to Elvis's family, yeah? I even asked Billy Stanley last night, I asked him who created the logo. And he told me that it was Elvis. Elvis created the TCB logo. It had nothing to do with Priscilla. Billy Stanley, I can show you proof of me talking to Billy, yeah? But I also speak to other family members as well, yeah? I'm very lucky, I feel very fortunate. But this is my point, yeah? Priscilla, in our live stream, we're looking at different, sorry, all the comments jumped up. I missed all of those comments. Priscilla, say the comments again, guys, because they all jumped up. Priscilla says she was on an aeroplane and her and Elvis had a sketchbook and they drew the design because Elvis was thinking of giving a piece of jewelry to his friends and family. Yeah? That she says that whilst they were drawing it together, a lightning bolt went past the aeroplane and that's where she got the idea for the lightning bolt, and that the lightning bolt was her idea. Okay? Now that interview is, I reckon, around 1990. Now I found another interview on a documentary that she made where she says, oh, I thought of the words TCB and it was my idea for the lightning bolt because of the aeroplane journey they had, seeing the lightning bolt. She says, I thought of the words TCB and the lightning bolt, then I drew it out, gave it to Elvis. He liked it, so he wanted to get it made. So do we understand what's happening here? Priscilla, bit by bit, is breaking down the fairy tale from 1955, because Priscilla goes further back. She'll go way back. She'll go to when Gladys was here. Priscilla will talk about Elvis as if she knew Gladys. We know that Priscilla didn't know Gladys. Gladys had been dead for nearly a year. God rest her soul. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Gladys. Let's sing happy birthday to Gladys. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gladys. Happy birthday to you. She is so beautiful. She's adorable. We all love Gladys. Gladys gave us Elvis. Anyway, this is my point, guys. This is my point, okay? That we know that Priscilla did not draw the sketch. of the TCB logo. It was not her idea. There was no bolt of lightning. Yeah, there we are. Yep. Pamela, we know we did 2 hours live stream today. We know about the comic books, the Marvel comic books, but there's also Billy Smith, Elvis's cousin, said the lightning bolt originates from the army years. Elvis would sign things using a lightning bolt. We also know from people like Lamar Fike, Marty Lacker, that there was a mafia connection where the mafia would use the words quick in a flash. So the Southwest Mafia, yeah? Is that what they were called? The Southwest Mafia? So there's a few things that it led to the creation of the TCB lightning bolt logo. Yeah? So my point is, it wasn't Priscilla. Pamela, that is my point. It wasn't Priscilla, yeah? So why should we, the Elvis fans, the Elvis community, accept being lied to? You get it? This is my point. Elvis wouldn't want it. Elvis would not want all of these lies being told. Elvis wouldn't want it. He wouldn't want to be unfairly portrayed by his ex-wife. Remember, they divorced 5 years before he died. Right, guys, I gotta go. My wife's ringing. See you later. See you later, alligator. Anyway, Pamela, message me direct. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I don't hate anyone. I will never hate anyone. But I will expose the truth because Elvis and Lisa cannot defend themselves. Riley cannot defend herself. And eventually, Finley and Harper cannot defend themselves. Even Gladys and Vernon, who we've recently defended. We've recently defended Gladys. They cannot defend themselves. Thanks, guys. All the best. Love you all.